and explode. So it sounds like they're going to be performing like mini wraps from Black Ops 3. And Overclock 1 gives you improved durability against enemy attack, whereas Overclock 2 allows you to deploy additional
Enemy soldier incoming. Check weapons and gear. We're holding for deployment.
Changing mag! Loading! I'm taking fire! Go! Loading!
Deployment to the war zone has been authorized. Targets are up. Go take them down.
Reloading!
Circle is moving.
Reloading! Taking fire! Changing mag! I'm back up.
Hostile, site bombardment incoming. Stay in condition, yellow.
Viable guild shipment in the AO. Expect our position.
Hold it! Contact! Changing mag! Changing mag! Reloading! Last mag!
Area clear. Secure the supplies.
Contact! Reloading! Loading!
Cradle bomb incoming. Expect the enemy to bring the rain.
Last mag!
Detonated cradle bombs in the AO. Watch for chemical contamination.
Making effective fire! Low on ammo!
Circle is moving in. New safe zone located.
Reloading!
The cradle bomb is clearing. Enter the blast zone to obtain valuable loot. Surveillance drone detected in the area. Take it down.
Hostile, site bombardment incoming. Stay in condition, yellow.
Terminal located. Use it to hunt down and eliminate threats. You've got a collapse inbound. Safe zone relocated. Terminal scan complete. Top priority threat has been identified. Incoming cradle bombs. Prepare for nearby contact fire.
Changing back.
Intel reports detonation of cradle bombs in the AO. Stay tight. Cradle bomb is clearing. We received intel there's valuable supplies in the blast zone.
What's going on, YouTube? Today I have a long-awaited updated settings video for you guys. We're gonna be going through controllers, 80K. Go to Best Buy. I would get a DualSense Edge controller. Let's dive in. Okay, so starting off, I do play on a controller. I play on a PS5 controller currently with a raised right thumbstick and 2 pals in the back. I'm currently using the Scuff controller, but I personally, if I were you, I would go to Best Buy. I would get a DualSense Edge controller. You can get a warranty for it, and if you ever have issues, and just go into Best Buy, grab a new one, walk out. I really don't think you should get one of these controllers. They're overpriced. I've been using them since I was like 16 years old. I'm 25 now, so I've been using these controllers for a long time, and I'm just too far gone. But I wouldn't get these. Go to Best Buy, save your money. Anyways, I play on tactical flip, which is going to allow me to shoot with my top triggers, aim in and shoot my top triggers instead of my bottom. I wouldn't use this setting if you're on an Xbox controller. I think this is a setting that is kind of more exclusive for PlayStation controllers, just because the bumpers are much different on Xbox, and the top bumpers have a very short distance to travel, so tactical flip feels really nice on the PS controllers. And this is the biggest change I've made, man. I have once again lowered my sensitivity. This is the biggest change from the previous settings video, and honestly, man, man, I started playing Warzone, and I always used 20 sensitivity, which is max sensitivity in the game. Over time, I've downed it more and more and more, just because at the end of the day, every single Call of Duty professional player plays on a lower sense. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason why there's no pros that play on a high sensitivity. I'm sure there's gonna be a couple comments, yo, Cammy, this Warzone pro plays on this high sensitivity. There is a couple, but 95% of all the pros play on a low sensitivity, and there's a reason for that. Your aim's gonna be more stable, you're gonna have more sticky aim assist, your close range gunfights are gonna be much easier, especially with the addition of aim assist mixed with the lower sensitivity.
Objective weapons. We'll be deploying shortly. All stations, we are green to go. Stand by for deployment.
And there's really no reason to play on a sensitivity above 1.7. I mean, there's not. You might feel like it makes you better in the game, and maybe for very select few people playing like a 2 sensitivity, for example, maybe you are a bit better in the game. But when you start getting past that, you're just kind of doing it. It's almost kind of like an ego thing, I think. And that's how it was for me. I just used a high sensitivity. I thought it was cool. I thought it was time. But the fact of the matter is, with lower sensitivity, you're gonna have more consistent aim. And we're talking about very specific situations. Like if I play on max sensitivity, could I still drop 30s, 40s, 50 kill games and bring them to you guys on YouTube? Absolutely. But when I'm facing players that are as good as me, if not better, having a lower sensitivity helps a lot, just being more consistent overall.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Primary objective is to eliminate all targets.
I'm back up.
You've got the circle closing in fast. Double time into the safe zone. USB acquired. Used to decrypt the locked safe.
Loading. Taking effective fire.
especially in those mega sweaty gunfights. And anyways, I do not use, this is kind of, and also I'm not going to dive into every single setting, right? I'm going to talk about the ones I want to, and then you can just slow down the video, pause the video, whatever you need to copy them and whatever you guys want to do. This is how you obviously change the triggers to shoot, name with the top ones. I don't use controller vibration. I don't know any pro players that use controller vibration. Again, not saying I'm a pro player, but I'm just basing off my settings off of the best in the world, which is what you should do, to be honest. But yeah, controller vibration is a big no-no. Don't do it. It's only going to mess with your aim. You know, controller vibration is more of a thing for kind of realism, campaign games, single-player games, and whatnot. For dead zones, I have done a massive change to this. I have based this dead zone off of Shifty. He's a Warzone pro. I don't really watch the Warzone competitive scene, but he's kind of talked as the, you know, kind of the best player right now, or one of the best players. And honestly, I was just kind of looking at some of the best pros in the world settings, and I just kind of landed on his and gave it a try, and I like it. You know, these are more so personal preference. You know, having these slightly different, it's not going to be the difference between if you're beaming people and being good at the game versus being bad. But he's one of the best players in the world, and I thought, well, let's throw them on, because this guy is competing at the end of the day for a copious amount of money every year, and he probably knows what he's doing, because he seems like he's pretty nasty. I'm recording this after the fact of already recording the video that you guys are watching right now. I forgot this for the sensitivity multiplier. Now that we're not using a custom zoom sensitivity for, you know, 2 times, 4 times, etc. You're just gonna have this on 0.9 for the ADS multiplier, and then that's just gonna be kind of 0.9 across the board, no matter what zoom you're at. Just kind of makes it a little bit more simple. When you start diving into the custom zoom sensitivities, it can get a little bit weird. It just kind of stressing out of what do I have each zoom at. Just kind of makes it simple, having it the same across the whole board. Now into the rest of the video. And then we have for this we have instant on. Some people do use gradual. All this is going to do is when you press your trigger on instant, you immediately are going to change to whatever your ADS sensitivity is. So gradual is going to gradually change it over whatever, a second or two. Instant.
Here's your time for the target practice. The real thing's coming soon.
Loading.
Playtime's over. Stand by for deployment to the war zone.
Moving here.
Hunt down the enemy. Intel reports nearby terminal. Use it to find threats in the AO. Terminal scan complete. HVT located nearby. Your surveillance drones detected in the area. Take it down. Enemy target evaded acquisition. next time.
I'm back online. Taking effective fire.
Gonna do it instantly. I definitely prefer instant. You could try gradual. There are some people that use gradual. We have dynamic on. This is the God tier aim response curve. There are a couple people that play on linear. I really am telling you to listen. Do not play on linear. All right, I'm telling you. Again, 95% of the pros play on dynamic. There's a reason for that. I keep bringing this back to the pro conversation, and again, I told you all this video is gonna be long, so my bad. But I've had conversations with people on my Twitch channel that always say, Cammy, bro, what settings do I use, or what sensitivity do I use? And people kind of come in and are like, dude, like my aim's off and stuff like that. Don't try to think outside the box. Again, when you have multiple players that are playing the game for a living, right? I play the game, but I wouldn't say for a living. I'm not getting paid from playing Call of Duty. I get paid from, generous people give me the time of day, showing up to the streams, and you guys watching the videos. But there are people that are competing in the game for thousands of dollars. You don't need to think outside the box. Look at the best players in the world. What are they using? It's probably a good idea to throw it on. A lot of people just don't say that enough. I feel like a lot of people are like, it's kind of personal preference. My settings might work for you. No, they will. They will. I mean, if these guys are shooting nukes and consistently winning money, and they have been using these settings, and they all use the same settings, right? Inside a couple different changes. But, all these guys are using a 1.6 to 1.8 cents, and there's a reason for that. But anyways, I guess my point is you don't got to think outside the box these days. There's a lot of guys that are paving the way for us to, just know how to be the best, most consistent player you could be. Obviously, aim assist on. No doubt about that. This is a setting that people think doesn't matter, right? Because a lot of people assume if you have this off, these settings are not taking effect, right? So if you change any of these, it doesn't matter because you have this off. That is not true. And people have argued with me this in the past, but I can prove it to you. If you turn this off and then you go down here and you turn this on and you try to turn in game, it will be on. It will be on, right? So having this off obviously does not turn these all off. And with that being said, I use FOV sensitivity scaling. I have that off. And I did find a difference in my aim when I turn this off. Is a placebo? It's possible, but I'm telling you right now, I've always used it off, and there are some other pros, some pros as well that do swear turning it off. So
we're headed to the war zone. Get geared up and stand by. All stations green light. We're deploying to the war zone.
Loading.
I would just turn that off, in my opinion. For movement, tactical sprint assist, having this at 0 is going to allow you to go into attack sprint as fast as possible. So definitely important to having smooth movement. Again, we're not going to dive into every single setting, but mantle says having this off. I want to accidentally mantle on things. If I want to mantle on something, I'll click X and I'll mantle. This setting is saying instead of automatically doing it for you. Have this off. Quarter slice. He's kind of the Rainbow Six. He can, definitely.
hostiles. USB in hand. Use the data to access the safe. Circle is closing in. Get to the new safe zone.
Changing mag. Changing mag.
Hostile, site bombardment incoming. Stay in condition, yellow. Hostile, site bombardment incoming. Stay in condition, yellow.
Reloading. I'm back online. Taking fire. Reloading. Loading.
A cradle Cradle bomb is being deployed to the war zone. Eyes up, soldier. Cradle bomb has been detonated in the war zone.
Changing mag.
Keep clear of the circle. Get to the safe zone. Use a nearby terminal to identify and hunt down threats. Terminal scanning complete. Top priority threat has been identified. Cradle bomb hazard decreasing. Sweep for supplies.
Hostile, site bombardment incoming. Stay in condition, Yellow.
Contact.
You've been targeted by a nearby enemy squad. Stay sharp.
Reloading.
Enemy threat eliminated. Mission accomplished.
Taking fire. Reloading.
Be advised. Circle is closing in. Proceed to the safe zone.
Loading. Loading. Contact.
Incoming cradle bombs. Prepare for nearby contact fire. Intel reports detonation of cradle bombs in the AO. Stay tight. You've evaded the team hunting you. Great work. The cradle bomb is clearing. Get to the blast zone to obtain valuable loot. You're losing ground.
Taking
Move
effective
it.
fire. Taking effective.
25 remain. Solid work so far.
Player model looks like when you're doing it from your POV, but the other person, you're just standing there.
Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy John, aka Spears here. In today's YouTube video, this is going to be the ultimate beginner's guide to Warzone's Black Ops Royale game mode. I'm going to cover everything that you need to know and a lot of tips and tricks I've picked up along the way. I have been playing nonstop since it's come out and it is a ton of fun. Before we get into all of that, if you guys haven't already dropped a like on this, I'd appreciate that a ton. I'd love to hit around 350 likes if it's possible. These guides do take a lot of time and effort to make. And if you guys are brand new around here and you guys are interested in more tips, tricks, or guides in the future for Black Ops Royale or just Call of Duty in general, make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss any future uploads. Now, starting off at the very beginning, you're no longer going to be loading into Verdansk. Obviously, you're going to be loading into Avalon. This is a giant map, which can be daunting at first, but there is wingsuits now and grapples, which allow you to traverse the map in incredibly easy fashion. Pro tip is if you're in a relatively flat terrain around the map where you're not able to activate your wingsuit, you can actually grapple up off of like something high, whether it be a building or a tree, and then activate your wingsuit off of that and be able to cover more ground faster. Obviously, when you land in, there are no more loadouts, so looting is going to be absolutely paramount in this current iteration. The looting in POIs is kind of lackluster, which is contrary to how it's been in the past. My favorite spots to land currently is firing range and then
Moving here.
Eliminate all targets in the AO. Collapse is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
Site bombardment available.
Guild shipment is marked for quality gear. Be prepared for resistance.
Taking fire! Changing mag! I'm back up.
Cradle bomb is being deployed to the war zone. Eyes up, soldier. Detonated cradle bombs in the AO. Watch for chemical contamination.
Loading.
The circle is approaching your position. Move to the safe zone. Cradle bomb is clearing, but we received intel there's valuable supplies in the blast zone.
Then these two random houses that I like to call the Spiro's compound. These two houses alone, I always leave with the two weapons that I want, which currently is the AK Recon and the Ride and Burner. I'm typically able to get them both gold within like 2 minutes of landing, and I leave there with armor, grapples, and a ton of other goodies. This is arguably the most important portion of the game because the two weapons that you go ahead and choose and upgrade is going to set you up for success later down the line throughout the game. When you're finding weapons, it's very important to pay attention to the archetype because these will drastically change the way that your weapons operate and function in game, and the attachments that you're able to upgrade to. And overall, it's going to impact your success a lot. Before we get into archetypes specifically, the three things that I think are absolute necessities going into the first fight is going to be purple armor, grapples, and an SMG with at least one upgrade kit applied. The reason for the one upgrade kit applied on the SMG is the very first attachment for pretty much all of the SMGs is going to be a extended mag, which if you're like me, the base mag is just not enough in these close quarter engagements, especially
What was it?
especially when you're mixing in the fact that this is now quads only for the time being. Like I mentioned before, when you're looting for these weapons, you have to pay very close attention to the archetypes. The system seems really complicated, but it's actually relatively simple once you understand it, and understanding it will drastically
Focus up. We're going loud.
speed up your looting because you won't have to spend as much time looking and trying to figure out what weapons are good or not and what you're looking for. Now, if you do pick up a weapon and you're not sure what attachments are going to be put on it, all you have to do is open your map and click right on the D-pad, and from there it will pop up with the progression map, and you guys can figure out if it's worth using your upgrade kits on or if you'd rather keep looting to find a different weapon with a different archetype on it. Pretty much every game I get the same two weapons that I'm always looking for, and I usually end up getting them gold just by knowing what I'm looking for in general, which I will say makes the game a ton more fun. So each weapon is assigned an archetype, and there are multiple archetypes for each weapon. Now for ARs, the archetypes are going to be the CQB, Recon, and Covert. With these, you're going to want to stay away from the CQB archetype. This is made for close quarter battles, and this is going to make them more like an SMG and less like a primary, meaning you're going to have worse bullet velocity, more recoil, and overall, they're just not really suitable for running as a primary weapon. So the Recon archetype is going to be more for long range, and this is going to have the high velocity attachment as the last attachment, which is absolutely crucial because it cuts down on the bullet velocity. In addition to that, this archetype is focusing on decreasing recoil as much as possible, which makes this arguably the best archetype when you're looting for a primary weapon, because higher bullet velocity means less lead and bullet travel time, and obviously less recoil means you're going to hit a lot more of your shots. I'm sure everybody by now has been shredded by the gold Recon AK because it is the best gun in the game currently. And then the Covert archetype, like I mentioned, for ARs is the only other one, and this is going to be easily spotted because the base attachment on it is a suppressor. So when you're looting and you see an AR like a Peacekeeper or even, you know, the AK or the MXR with a suppressor, you know that's a Covert archetype. There is no high velocity attachment on this one, so the bullet velocity is going to be a little bit lower, but it's all about staying off the map. Now, I will say there is some benefits to staying off the map, especially if you're somebody that is a little bit sneaky or wants to play flanks or takes a lot of like solo 1v4s. Staying off the map does have its benefits, but overall, if you're looking to have the most success, the Recon AK is going to be what you want to pick up. Now that you have your primary, you're going to need a secondary, and I do recommend running the SMGs. Obviously, these are the best secondaries. The shotguns are very good, but since it is quads only, I do find SMGs to be a little bit better. Now with SMGs, there are three since it is quads only, I do find SMGs to be a little bit better. Now with SMGs, there are three archetypes currently. You're going to have the Burner, the Stalker, and the Mantis. Now I know what you're thinking. I don't know anything to do with these archetypes with the SMGs, but I promise you do. So basically, the Mantis has the 2x scope on it after you upgrade it for a while, so you're going to want to stay away from that one as much as possible. And when you're choosing an SMG, you want to really prioritize the Stalker or the Burner archetype. Burner archetype, the last attachment once you get a gold, is going to give you the rapid fire, which absolutely shreds through armor and is by far the best archetype for SMGs currently. If you're somebody that maybe plays a little bit slower and struggles with accuracy, the Stalker archetype is going to be the one for you because it does have a suppressor, which is a little bit useless since it's an SMG, but it does get the extended mag too, giving you a little bit more ammo in the magazine when you fully upgrade it. The Burner only gets extended mag 1, but again, if you're a faster player, Burner archetype. If you are slower and struggle with accuracy, then maybe go with the Stalker. Both will work fine. But again, at all costs, do not pick up or upgrade a Mantis SMG.
LZ marked. Get ready to jump.
Enemy dropping into the AO. Primary objective is to eliminate all targets.
Hostile, psych bombardment incoming. Stay in condition, yellow.
Let's get to it.
Collapse is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
Got some loot here. Reinforcing armor. Visual and loot.
Good work, soldier.
Loading new mag. Reinforcing armor. Located tacticals. Disregard. Changing mags. Eyes on enemy.
You've achieved the objective. A cradle bomb is being deployed to the war zone. Eyes up, soldier. Detonated cradle bomb to the AO. Watch for chemical contamination. Circle is closing in. Get to the new safe zone. The cradle bomb is clearing. Enter the blast zone to obtain valuable loot.
Your shots. I'm sure everybody by now has been shredded by the gold Recon AK because it is the best gun.
Hostile psych bombardment incoming. Same condition, yellow.
Circle is moving in. New safe zone located. Incoming cradle bombs. Prepare for nearby contact fire. Intel reports detonation of cradle bombs in the AO. Stay tight. Use the nearby terminal to identify and hunt down threats.
Hostile psych bombardment incoming. Same condition, yellow.
Terminal scan complete. HVT located nearby. Enemy target being acquisition. Try harder next time.
In the game currently, and then but it does get the extended mag too, giving you a little bit more ammo in the at all costs and faster ways to get guarantees. And it sounds like you're on, so it makes that looting process just suppressor on as the default attachment, and these Stalker variants are going to have a suppressor on. So it makes that looting process just a little bit faster, especially when you know what you're looking for. Now that you've landed, looted, got your weapons, got your kind of your starting gear, your starting kit, now it's time to upgrade these weapons. And it sounds like it would be simple. All you have to do is keep looting, but there are easier and faster ways to get guaranteed upgrade kits, which I'll tell you about in a second. Starting off though, like I said earlier, POIs are actually going to be not the best place to find random upgrade kits in the ground loot. I have found, like I said, at the Spiros compound or just out in random fields, there are a ton of upgrade kits. You can even take a car and drive around and usually find a couple just out and about. The upgrade kits do have a slight audio cue, and once you know to listen for it, you'll be finding them a lot more frequently. It is worth that if you don't have a weapon that you're comfortable with or want to upgrade, to leave it and then circle back a little bit later whenever you find the weapon you want to upgrade, just because they are so valuable and upgrading your guns makes a massive difference. Now, like I mentioned, if aimless looting isn't for you, then you're best targeting the surveillance drones. They'll show up on your minimap when you're in range, and once you eliminate them, it will crash into the ground and drop a upgrade kit along with 2 perks and sometimes some other loot. Now, every time that you get a surveillance drone taken down, you are guaranteed 1 upgrade kit, which could make all the difference. Now, this is a low risk, high reward.
Get geared up and stand by.
Consequences
Time's
at
over. Now you deploy to the war zone.
Reloading. Head for indicated location.
Hunt down the enemy. The guild shipment is marked for quality gear. Be prepared for resistance.
Loading new mag. Using lethal. Reinforcing armor. Reloading.
Dog standing by.
Changing mags.
Well executed. Secure the supplies. Circle is closing in.
Reinforcing armor. They almost had me.
Objective complete.
Hostile field upgrade. Reloading. Reinforcing armor.
Cradle bomb incoming. Expect the enemy to bring the rain. Geo surveillance drone detected
Setting
in the area.
waypoint.
Take it down. Cradle bomb has been detonated in the war zone.
Loading new mag. Changing mags. Loading new mag.
Job's done. Good work. USB in hand. Use the data to access the safe. You're losing ground. Move it.
Deploying score 3.
Cradle bomb hazard decreasing. Sweep for supply.
Ready to go.
Fire Valuable guild shipment in the AO. Expect opposition.
Reinforcing armor.
Hostile psych bombardment incoming. Stay in condition, yellow.
Collapse is inbound.
Incoming fire. Reinforcing armor.
Cradle bomb is being deployed to the
Reinforcing
war
armor.
zone. Eyes up, soldier.
Reloading. Using equipment.
Detonated cradle bombs in the AO. Watch for chemical contamination. Intel reports nearby terminal. Use it to find threats in the AO.
Hostile psych bombardment incoming. Stay in condition, yellow.
I'm hit. Changing mags. Reinforcing armor. Loading new mag. Reinforcing armor.
Cradle bomb is clearing, but we received intel there's valuable supplies in the blast zone. $25 remaining.
Changing mags.
Circle is moving.
activity that you can engage in. There's one other activity that I do think is worth doing because you are rewarded with a trauma kit, a satchel, and an upgrade kit every single time you complete it, and that's going to be the surprise shipment. Now, trauma kits, for those of you who don't know, is a field upgrade, and when you apply it, it gives you 100 extra health. The surprise shipment, all you have to do is see it on your map looking like this. They also do make an audible kind of beep to let you know that they are there and ready to be done, and all you have to do is go up to the doors. The doors will blast open, and there will be 4 henchmen and 1 boss AI that you have to eliminate. I have run into so many teams running and freaking out and being scared because they're getting shot by these AI. The AI do next to 0 damage to you if you just pay attention when they're shooting you. All you really have to do is just stand there when the doors blast open and just mag dump both your AR and your SMG in there, and for the most part, that'll be enough to take them all out. You can get this done in like less than 15 seconds. A little pro tip is if you have an HCXD, you can get the doors to blast open and just drive it in there, and you'll take out all 4 of the henchmen and take down some of the health on the boss. It's also worth noting that if you do not eliminate all 4 of the henchmen and the boss, the loot will not spawn, so you have to make sure that you get all 5 of the AI eliminated, and then the loot will pop up in the crate at the same spot every time. And lastly, this seems like it's an obvious thing, but upgrade kits cannot be stored in your backpack, unfortunately, and they cannot be transferred across weapons. So when you are looting these upgrade kits, make sure you have the weapon out that you want to upgrade, since they are so rare. Now, if you made it this far into the game, congratulations. If not, don't sweat it, since when you loaded in, you did load in with a redeploy token. If you die, you don't go to the gulag, you just come back after waiting 45 seconds. Your teammates cannot speed up this countdown by looting or getting eliminations. It's just a hard 45 seconds that you have to wait, and then you'll be able to redeploy back in. If you do end up dying again after you use your redeploy token, then you have to have your teammates go to a res tower. It does go faster if you stack more players on it. Now, this is a little bit of a risky move since there's not a lot of redeploy towers. However, if you are able to get the res off, you are rewarded not only with your teammate coming back, but a UAV sweep of the area to let you know if there's
We're
anything
heading to the
coming.
war zone. Get geared up. Stand by. Enemy dropping into the
Wasted a good parachute. Changing mags.
all stations, green
Loading
light.
new mag.
We're deploying to the war zone. Resurgence. Survive the timer to secure redeployment. Earn points to speed up the countdown.
Reinforcing armor. Reinforcing armor. Let's get to
You're
it.
getting another chance. Weapons free.
Combatants. Now for a little bit of pro knowledge on a little secret. If your teammate does get eliminated and you are able to get the res tower completed before the 45 seconds is up, they will come back from the res tower and retain their redeploy token. So if they would end up getting eliminated again, then they would just come back off their redeploy token. Now for armor. There's actually 3 tiers of armor, and I'm telling you, level 3 is insanely overpowered. Starting out at level 1, this is going to be the purple armor that you see throughout the map. This provides you with a 25% damage reduction. So the armor damage reduction is only applied when you're taking damage to your plates. Once your plates are gone and you're taking damage to your base health, there is no damage reduction. This is why sometimes in fights you feel like there's an insanely fast TTK because you might not be fully plated up, or you're tanking a lot of shots because you have higher tier armor, and then once it's gone, all the, you just take a boatload of damage all at once and get fried. Level 2, which is going to be orange and with the shoulder pads and it's all black, is going to be a 35% reduction, and then you have the coveted and grossly overpowered level 3, which has kind of these shiny metallic plates on it with the shoulder pads, and it glows gold. This gives you a 50% reduction in damage.
All stations, we are green to go.
Loading
Stand by
new
for deployment.
That you're taking to your plates, meaning it will take them twice as many shots to break your armor. It is pretty wild, and that is why when you hit somebody and they have blue armor, or you get that blue armor hit marker, they get fried so quickly because there is no damage reduction being applied. Now that we understand kind of how the armor system works, we all obviously are going to want level 3 armor, but that is kind of a difficult thing to do because
secure redeployment. More points you earn, the faster that clock. Enemies dropping into the AO.
Reloading.
Enemy intel located. Capture and secure the intel point to discover the next gas spread.
Reinforcing armor.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Eyes on enemy. Changing mags. 'Em. 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 'Em.
Good work. Hold down the point until it's secure. You're losing ground. Move it. Enemy soldier incoming. Capture complete. Hell of a job. Uploading information on the next gas spread.
Loading new mag. Broke the armor. Changing mags.
Loadout drop headed your way. Enemy dropping into the AR.
Broke the armor. Reloading.
$25 are left. Stay sharp out there.
Broke the armor. Changing mags. Reinforcing armor. Reloading. Loading new mag. Broke the armor. Changing mags. They're on me. Stick.
Gas is inbound.
Ready to go.
Resurging. Go get your revenge.